Hey guys, so today we're going to do the unboxing and demo of the Volt 276. It's a bus-powered USB audio interface. It's designed for musicians to record into a computer. And I've done a video doing a comparison of a few different USB audio interfaces before. For a long time, I was using a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. But the unfortunate thing with that one is that you have to connect it to a computer in order for it to actually turn on. And I wanted to have something that I can use not only for my computer to record into my computer, but I also wanted to use something with a great mic preamp for my homemade karaoke setup as well, which I didn't really want to be powered by just a computer. I want to be like, wall wart powered as well. So I was looking for a few different alternatives to the Focusrite Scarlett, and the Universal Audio Volt 2 came up, and I looked at that one, and that was actually probably my favorite out of those audio interfaces. And that one was about $200, and this one is actually the step-up model here, the 276, because in addition to having all the features of the Volt 2, which I really liked, so it's a 2 input, 2 output, just like the Volt 2, but the 76 part of it comes from the fact that Universal Audio is well known as a historic American company for producing studio equipment, but especially compressors. And they're especially famous for, I would say, their LA2A tube compressor and their 1176 solid state compressor. So that's where the 76 comes from. It comes from their famous 1176 studio compressor that's been heard on countless recordings by many famous artists. In addition to that, it has all the features of the Volt 2. So this is the step-up model from the Volt 2. The Volt 2 costs $200 US. This one costs $300 because it has an extra 1176 compressor built in, which is very useful because, yeah, like, always add compression to your vocals or your guitar or something like that, just to smooth things out a bit. If you don't have compression, if you play too hard or too soft, you sound a bit peaky in either direction. Same thing with vocals. You want to have like a limiter so that your vocals don't sound like too harsh and your guitar doesn't sound like too peaky. Just in general, it'll make your instruments and your vocals sound a lot more smoother. So yeah, that's why I like to use compressors. I actually always use a compressor when I record. Just before I had to use a software compressor, I just use the one on my Audacity. But with this 1176 compressor built in, I don't have to even do that. It just automatically, I can just use that 76 compressor, right? So that's really useful. So I thought, okay, $100 more. I think it's worth it to add that extra compression feature on there, since I always use compression when I record anyways. And yeah, it's by a very reputable company, the historic Universal Audio, right? Very well respected in the studio and everything. Yeah, they've made countless. They've been on countless recordings. Let's just say their equipment has been on so many studios, and yeah, so many recordings. So, anyways, let's take a look. Yeah, 1176 compressor. Another thing I thought about was getting the 1176 guitar compressor pedal, but unfortunately, the jacks are on the top, which doesn't fit into my pedal board. My pedal board can only fit side-mounted pedals with side-mounted jacks. Otherwise, it'll screw up the layout. So I want to check out the guitar pedal too, but yeah, it's top-mounted jacks, unfortunately. So this one includes a whole bunch of software too. Ableton Live, so that's a DAW, Softube, Marshall Plexi, Classic Amp, Symphony Lab, plugin lines, UGM. So yeah, Universal Audio makes a whole bunch of different plugin software as well. I haven't really used any of those, but they do have a bunch of plugin software. So that's cool. Maybe I'll check them out sometime. But right now I'm just using a very basic, not even a DAW, I'm just using Audacity. Before in the past I might have used Pro Tools or something like that, but it was very annoying to get Pro Tools working. You had to have that specific key plugged into your computer all the time. Yeah, it was very annoying. Okay, so here is the UA Volt 276. Right. So there's also an app, by the way, right? They ask you to download an app with that QR code. Okay, so what you get inside, so you get the Volt instructions here, and it comes with, so this is what I was looking for actually, yeah, USB-A to barrel jack adapter. So this is a AC Yeah, essentially AC adapter that's powered by USB. This means that it can be powered independently of a computer, which is good because my Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 could only be powered by a computer, which means I would always have to bring my computer everywhere if I wanted to use it. But you know, if I wanted to bring like a portable karaoke setup, then I don't want to bring my computer with me all the time necessarily. So this is useful. That means I can power it by just the wall wart. So yeah, I think that means I can just do that. And yeah, I also have a USB-C to USB-A to connect to your computer. And that's pretty much it for the cables, because that's all you really need. This is just like a bunch of safety stuff, warranty stuff there. Not too exciting there. So yeah, those are just the basic cables that you need. Yeah, I think the important one is this USB-A to barrel jack, this AC adapter, meaning that it can be powered by a wall wart. You just stick it onto, basically just stick it onto like any kind of charger, right, that takes in USB-A. You can just stick it onto any kind of charger, and then just plug it into a wall, and then it should just and then this one should just work. It should just power the audio interface by itself. So that's pretty nice. Okay, another thing I have to mention that I really like about the 276 over the UA Volt 2 is this faux wood. Actually, is it faux wood? Yeah, it looks. I'm not sure if this is real wood or not. It certainly looks like it could be. But yeah, I do like this wood paneling on the sides here. It's very, very vintage 70s looking, which is really nice. So yeah, it looks like something came from the 60s or 70s, right? I mean, having this wood paneling on the side here, very, very vintage looking, and I really like it. This aesthetic is really nice. I mean, just the change in aesthetic itself, I think it definitely feels much more professional, I guess, much more substantial and professional than the UA Volt 2 does. So yeah, it's you're paying $100 not just for the compressor, but also for the upgrade and looks as well, because it certainly looks like a much more capable. I mean, this looks something like you might use in a studio, right? It doesn't look like a toy. It doesn't look like something that you know, like this. A lot of like audio interfaces look just like kind of like a toy, right? You just plug it in, plug in your guitar, and then yeah, and then off you go. It's very, very portable and handy, but this thing looks very serious, and it looks like something that actually belongs in the studio. So that's really cool. Like you have your input levels here, output levels, host, power. You have your gain for the first input here, and the second input gain as well. This is, of course, powered by XLR inputs, but you can also put in a 1/4 inch jack or 6.35 millimeter jack for your guitar or instrument. So yeah, this is using a pretty industry standard by this point. A lot of audio interfaces have this option. You just plug in XLR, or you can plug in a 1/4 inch jack. You have 48 volt phantom power for your condenser mics. This is to switch from your mic basically to the instrument, which would be the 1/4 inch jack. So that's the buttons to switch there. This is the dial for volume for headphone monitoring. So yeah, I plug in. This is a full-size headphone jack, 6.35 millimeter. So if you have a 3.5, you'll need to have an adapter to use this. And this is another thing that's like, oh, this is serious equipment, right? Because a really full-size studio, yeah, recording equipment would have this bigger headphone jack instead of the smaller 3.5. And then you have, yeah, you have your gain controls right here. You have your 76 compressor, so this will turn on the built-in 1176 compressor, which is, you know, a lot of what the money for this upgrade is going to, is having that built-in compressor, which is really nice. A very historic compressor, I should note. Vintage mode, which basically makes the sound a little bit warmer. So this is not the same, but it's like kind of like a feature that the Focusrite Scarlett has with the air function, except the Focusrite Scarlett adds a bit of high end with that air, and then the UA Volt adds a bit of, you know, warmer low end with this vintage. So it just makes it feel like you're running it through. It's trying to emulate running it through a vintage tube type of preamp, which is what the LA2A was. That kind of tube compressor. That type of sound. Yeah, it's like trying to duplicate running it through a tube preamp. So it just adds a little bit of warmth to it. It's not exactly the same, of course. It's just an emulation, you know, just adds a bit of more of warmth. It's not the exact same as running it through a tube preamp, but really is trying to do that. So anyways, it's nice to be able to have that effect. You can turn it on or off. 76 compressor on and off for each channel here. Then you have like little LEDs for vocal, guitar, and then this fast thing and off. I think this fast thing might be the compressor, I'm guessing. And then you have the direct monitor volume right here. This is to when you output to studio monitors, and then you can, you can turn on and off direct, right? I think you would, if you're monitoring, you probably want to have direct, so there's no latency. All right, at the back here, you have your main outputs to your studio monitors, and left to right channels here, and your MIDI in and output right here. I don't use MIDI, but it's nice to have these extra inputs and outputs here in case you do use MIDI. A lock slot right here, power switch. Remember, got to turn it on so it doesn't just automatically turn on like a lot of like the Focusrite does that, and the Behringer one I tested did that. A lot of the USB audio interfaces just automatically turns on when it's powered, but this one you do have to use the power switch. I do remember to do that. Then you have two options to be powered by either a barrel jack or a USB-C. So you can use either or. If you just connect it to your computer, this will be powered by the USB bus on your computer. Or if you're like me, you don't always want to power it by the computer, you want to use it in other settings, like in a karaoke setup, then that's when you would use this barrel jack, the AC adapter. So it's useful to have both. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a nice upgrade over the UA Volt 2. You get this nice upgraded aesthetic, nice like wood finish on the sides here, and also looks a lot more professional here. So yeah, I definitely like the appearance better. And yeah, you get that built-in 1176 compressor, which is a legendary compressor by Universal Audio. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to be setting this up, and I'll be recording a track with it, so you guys can see how it sounds like. And then I'll be singing some karaoke with it as well, so you guys can hear how it does in a karaoke setup. Alright, so now I have the UA Volt 276 all set up now. It's connected to the Shure MV7 mic, and I have the 76 compressor mode and the vintage mode turned on right now. And I'm monitoring using the Shure SRH 940 headphones, which are very good reference quality headphones. And yeah, let's play some songs here. Just gonna do some recordings. You guys can hear what it sounds like with the 276. Pretty much it should be similar to the UA Volt 2 that I recorded with before, except now we have a 1176 compressor added onto it.
Walt Grace desperately hid in his old place, dreamed to discover a new space, buried himself alive inside his basement. Tone the side on his face, man. He's working away on displacement and what it would take to survive. Cause when you're done with this world, you know the next is up to you. And his wife told his kids he was crazy. His friends said he failed if he tried, but the will to work hard in the library card. He took a homemade fan blade, one-man submarine ride. Oh, darling, believe me, I'll never do you no harm. Believe me when I tell you, I'll never do you no harm. Oh, darling, if you leave me, alone. Believe me when I beg you, don't ever leave me alone. Believe me, darling. darling, please believe me. I'll never let you down. Believe me, darling, believe me when I tell you I'll never do you no harm. I'll never do you no harm.
Alright, so here is the second test. I want to test the UA Volt 276 now in a portable karaoke setup, which is another use case that I'll be using this for. And yeah, I have it hooked up to my guitar amp, which is actually my portable loudspeaker essentially. This is the Vox Mini 5. I've used it for many, many years. I've owned this for like 10 years actually. It's both a busking amp, and it's battery powered, and also has a mic input, which is really useful for something like karaoke, right? Because yeah, if I find like a portable PA speaker system, it's either like still too big or it's just, you know, it's not good enough. So it's hard to find a really good portable like PA speaker system. So that's why I basically repurposed this busking guitar amp for use as mostly like a PA speaker now. So yeah, I have the mic input here connected to the studio monitor, the monitor outputs basically of the UA 276. One interesting thing about the 76 compressor is that these different settings here, you can adjust it for vocal, guitar, fast compression, or you can just turn it off. So there's actually 3 different settings here, 3 different levels of compression. You can use it for either vocals, guitar, or fast, which is pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. I guess if I plug my guitar straight into the input here, I would use the guitar setting. Fast, I'm not exactly sure when I use that, but for purposes of this, I'll use the vocal setting here because I'll be singing into it. And my microphone will be a trusty Shure SM58. This is a very famous microphone. It's been used by, you know, many artists throughout the decades. It's a very good microphone. So yeah, the Shure SM58, what a classic, right? Now I'll just be playing. You can see how loud I can already pick up the mic here. Just turn down the gain a little bit. And I have the trim setting set to about 12 o'clock on the amp here. Yeah, this is a really good microphone. If you guys want to hear the difference between the PGA 48, which is much cheaper, and the SM48, here I can basically just do it for you here. So this is the PGA 48. It has a little bit less dynamic range compared to the SM48. So this is PGA 48 right now. Yeah, less dynamic range. It's a nice affordable option, but yeah, if you really want to get the full dynamic vocal range, then SM58 is the way to go. Yeah, so I'm going to go with the SM58. Has a better dynamic range. And yeah, definitely one of the most famous dynamic microphones ever. Right, this is yeah, basically most famous dynamic microphone ever. It's used by so many artists. Shure SM58. What a classic. All right, I'm going to be playing just a karaoke song on my laptop here, and then just sing along to it and see how well it does with the UA Volt 276, because this is another use case I want for it, not just for recording, but also for use in my karaoke setup. It has like a, you know, built-in compressor, which is really nice, and 1176 compressor, not just any compressor. And yeah, the mic preamp here should be pretty good too. I'm actually not sure how this mic preamp compares to the Focusrite's preamps, which are pretty famous as well, coming from a Rupert Neve design, or the Behringer's Midas preamps. But anyways, we'll see. Okay. Oh, also the M-Track Duo as well. They also have the Crystal preamp mics. Although I think that one's probably the worst out of the 4, honestly, in terms of the mic preamp. I mean, you'd probably only be able to tell, like, if you're really, like, recording a lot, or, like, you know, if you're a studio engineer and you're really, you know, mixing hard on that recording console. But yeah, mic preamps are something, right? You got to have a good one. Anyways, Universal Audio knows their stuff. They've been in the business so many years, so many decades. So, anyways, I'll play the song now. It's a New Jeans song. usually sing this one karaoke.
보고 싶은 생각에 들어간 우리 청에 나는 말을 꺼냈네. 보는지는 않으래. 느린 한마디보다 조용함이 더 좋아. 기다리고 있지만 매일 이런 거 아냐. 난 재미없어. 게임 같은 건 답이 없어. 아무리 좋아도 no 많은 지켜온 거 먼저 와서 보여줘. 먼저 와서 보여줘. 'Cause I'm not gonna be the one to get hurt. I'm not gonna be the one to get hurt. I'm not gonna be the one to get hurt. I'm not gonna be the one to get hurt. I'm not gonna be the one to get hurt. Not gonna be the one to get hurt. 매일 잠들기 전에 그리고 또 아침에 쥐고 있는 내 손에 너 없는 화면은 내 느린 한마디보다 조용함이 더 좋아. 기다리고 있지만 매일 이런 거 아냐. 난 재미없어. 게임 같은 건 답이 없어. 아무리 좋아도 no 많은 지켜온 거 먼저 와서 보여줘. 먼저 와서 보여줘. 'Cause I'm not gonna be the one to get hurt. No I'm not gonna be the one to get hurt. I'm not gonna be the one to get hurt. 여기까지야. 내가 왔는 곳은 너무 멀었어. I'm not gonna be the one to get hurt. 여기까지야. 내가 와 있는 곳은 너무 멀었어. I'm not gonna be the one to get hurt.
One thing about the SM58 mic compared to the PGA48 is the PGA48 has an off button, so that's a nice thing to have. The SM58 does not have an off button. Alright, let's do another one, another classic here. I'm sure everyone knows this song.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. I'm just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. A singer in a smoky room, a smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. Their shadows searching in the night. Streetlight people living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the night. get my fill. Everybody wants a thrill, paying anything to roll the dice just one more time. Some will win, some will lose. Some were born to sing the blues. Oh, the movie never ends. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. Their shadows searching in the night. Streetlight people living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the night. Anyways, I think it works pretty well for karaoke here. Oh yeah, one more thing about my Vox Mini 5 is I can actually use the some of the reverb effects actually for the mic, which is really cool, because it is a useful. Like I can use analog delay. See, right now if I turn the analog delay on, you guys can hear the repeats, right? Oh, the echo. See, I can get to echo. That effect works. Spring reverb. I can send my voice through a spring reverb, but the one I actually just use the most is room reverb, because room reverb sounds the most natural, right? So this busking amp actually works really well for karaoke, because like I can put my mic in and actually has built-in reverb for my voice, which is for the mic, I mean, which is nice. And yeah, this UA-Volt 276 works really well. Yeah, I think the 76 compressor as well as the vintage mode. Overall, yeah, I'm really satisfied with it. I think it's a nice substantial upgrade. Well, maybe like not really that big of an upgrade, but still, it's still an upgrade over my Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. I can definitely like this and the SM58 mic combined. I think it's a nice upgrade for my Focusrite 2i2 plus the PJ48. So yeah, overall I can hear more dynamics in my voice, and yeah, it's a nice singing experience, I think. So it works well for karaoke, not just for recording. So anyways, guys, that's it. That's the UA-Volt 276 works well for recording. Works well as a mic preamp for my karaoke setup. It's nice that it has a built-in compressor mode. So yeah, that's it, guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions. You guys interested in a USB audio interface and the 276? Yeah, let me know, because I use this. I use this for two separate purposes, and seems to work pretty well for both of them. So that's it, guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and as always, thanks for watching.